Hi, I'm John Lovitz, and you're watching Couldn't Help But Notice, starring Brett Riley, on the John Lovitz Comedy Network.
This man may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot.
Brett Riley.
And for the man you all came to see, put it together for Brett Riley.
Brett Riley! Hey guys, welcome to Couldn't Help But Notice. I'm your host, Brett Riley. My guest today is my buddy Brian Lenzo. He's a restaurateur, beer aficionado, the man in the craft beer business in California. Ooh. Yeah.
I like that.
I'm just saying, that's the deal. And so I had Brian as my guest today because, for one, I don't know anything about fine beverages, but I've learned a lot from Brian. Brian, what do you have on the horizon right now?
The Horizons Beer. We're trying to build a brewery downtown Los Angeles, so
And that's looking to open when?
hopefully around August is what we're looking at.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you say, do I remember right that you told me you're going to have skee ball?
skee ball.
What else? What all can?
We're doing an Italian pizza kitchen up front, so you get slices of pizza, good
Okay.
craft beer, and then some skee ball, and then we'll also have a full bar as well, so we're gonna have a lot of whiskey. So
Nice.
it can do the job.
What's the whiskey that you guys have specifically at Blue Palms?
Evan Williams. We had a company called Evan Williams make. You can go in there and select your own barrel. So we
So you guys have your
picked our own barrel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and also, along with the brewery coming in August, you have right now a very established place, Blue Palms.
So far, we've been pretty lucky.
Blue Palms Brew House on Hollywood Boulevard, close
Yep.
to right on the corner of Hollywood and Gower, right?
Yeah, connected to the Fonda Theater.
And you guys, you got a huge fan base.
We've been pretty lucky. The craft beer fans have really stepped up to the plate with us
And you
and
guys
played
had
along. And
That was a that had to be a cool experience, like being an owner of a business and having the Occupy Blue Palms thing.
it is now, but when we first opened, getting the word out and getting people to come and visit you.
Yeah.
There's many nights I stood there on a Saturday night bartending going, yep. And I'd be texting my friends going, yeah, just come in and have a beer because there's nobody at the bar.
Yeah.
But it took us some time, but you might have spent a few nights there.
I did. I spent a few nights there. Also, I can relate as a stand-up comedian. I just had a weekend like that. My business can be like that sometimes. This weekend, I'd never been to Oakland.
It's
East
beautiful
Oakland.
there.
Yeah,
Very nice.
very nice. I'd never been to East Oakland, and there was a grand total after 6 shows. It was just not a lot of people. I did one show for 4 people, one of the nights,
Wow.
which was fine. It's just really difficult to try.
Were they at least one table or were they spread out?
They were one table. But yeah, the other nights when there was like 24, 25 people or whatever, they would just sit all over the room. And this kid tried to heckle me one of the nights, and I was just like, hey, man.
With 4 people?
Yeah. It's like, hey, man. I was like, come on, dude. It's like, no, don't.
Oh,
I
God.
was like, you're killing me right now. I'm like, if you keep this up, like all that's going to be playing in my head when I go back to the hotel is, hello, darkness, my old friend. Like, it was
come to talk with you again.
it was challenging. It was messing with my confidence, but it's good. Another reason I had you as a guest is because honestly, Brian's not a comedian, but Brian is, in my opinion, one of my funniest friends because you just do stupid shit.
I like doing stupid shit, man. Life's too serious sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's funny just to. My biggest thing is I just say stupid sayings all the time, and people are like, "What the hell was that?" Like my new one, shoe repair. Like,
shoe repair. What do you do? I'm in shoe repair. Shoes and glasses. Have you seen my new shoes? Oh, check out my new glasses.
but people are in serious conversations, and you throw them off guard, like, "Oh, shoe repair," and they're like, "The fuck was?"
Where did that? Yeah.
Like, nah, it's just take it easy, man.
Or when we went to that freaking golf tournament, charity golf event that you took me to out in Palm Springs. Dude, I was one of my favorite experiences, man. You were every restaurant we went to, you were just like, they would be like, how are you gentlemen doing? Oh, we're fabulous.
We're
How are you?
fabulous.
Oh, we are so. Oh my gosh, what is your special? What are they? What are those?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Oh my god. Oh my god. What else did you say? You were like,
Oh God, we mess with them so much. I mean, the idea is just have fun because you.
no. What's funny is I'm a comic. I didn't mess with anybody. I just was like sitting there, just going, wow, really? You're just gonna keep?
There's this point you have to entertain yourself, you know.
Oh
and-
my. Oh my god.
Oh
it was
my
so
God!
delicious.
Don't you be so sore. That's from like the Jerky Boys always did that. Like, don't you be so sore. And they're like, huh?
Yeah. That. And then I did. I mean, the best moment for me on that tournament was when I actually hit like the best shot of my life in the friggin'
No, the
40 mile an hour
The best
wind.
part was when they're trying to do that celebrity picture, and was it not Ric Flair, but who was
Bret
it?
Michaels.
Bret Michaels. They like,
No.
dude, grab me a club. No, it was
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
Bret the Hitman
They're like,
Hart.
grab me a club, and you had the closest golf bag, and they took a golf club out of your bag, and they're getting ready to take the picture. And he looks at it and he goes, "What is this, a fucking relic?"
It was.
Because your
man.
golf clubs are so old, and he was just like,
They were-
"What the
dude,
hell?"
I had piece of shit clubs. I bought them. I bought those clubs for $50, and we're out there, and I seriously grabbed the bag.
Oh God!
From like somebody was like throwing it away, and I was like, "Why are you just gonna throw that? I'll take it."
I'll use
it's like,
that.
and it's like,
the zipper still work?
yeah, it was bright indigo, and yeah, and like we're at this celebrity event, and
Oh, dude, that was funny, man. I mean,
he bashed the hell out of it. He was like, "What
he just
the fuck?"
he's trying to take the picture, but he just kept looking at him in awe, like, "It's just these for real? Like, what the hell?" Are these?"
Luckily, since I've gotten married, I've gotten actual clubs now. So
You know, improves the game a little bit.
I was so bad, but that was also, it was insane. The course was beautiful, but it was 40. What do you think the winds were?
40 mile an hour wind.
Yeah,
You
we're
hit
like
the ball and it comes back at
to
you.
the point where we could lean into it. Like, yeah, you could lean into the wind and it would hold you up. Yeah.
Maybe we picked the wrong golf course. Yeah, you know.
That was the best though. When I was but it was nice because they had like beer at the different holes, and I was getting a beer, and I didn't know that you and the dude that we were playing with, that you put money down.
Oh, and you got the driver.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. You put the money down, like, and I went up and hit. I just, you know, it's windy as shit when you hit. I hit a driver
On a par
as hard
three.
as I could on a par 3, and the wind just killed it, and it just dropped.
I don't know why I did that. I was just like maybe he'll have a good shot, and I'm like, I'll pay $10 for him, and you actually hit it you hit it like 10 feet from the pin.
Yeah, yeah. It was like right next to the pin, and you won a driver.
It's like, hey
because of
Brett,
that.
you won me a driver. Thanks.
I was like, what? Okay, cool. Which made me feel like at least. But by the way, I appreciated that you did that because I was like,
It's all faith, man. I had faith in you.
I was trying to make myself feel worthy because I was like, because it sucks also being at a charity event and people are like, okay, so on this hole it's this much, and I was like, I don't know.
I'm just a guest.
I'm
I'm the
just-
charity.
I'm just a
Don't-
guy. This is boy.
like
thing.
it's only $10. You're like, no,
no,
no, thank you.
no, thank you. There beer? No, okay.
That's the problem with those events, because that's what the idea of having all this liquor, because you get stuck behind other people and you start drinking every hole, and
Yeah,
it loosens you up for them. They're like, it's $100 for the longest drive. You're like, I can do that.
I can do.
You put $100 out, and you're like, no, I didn't do that.
That was crazy. That long drive guy. How far do you think he hit it?
I think it was like 454 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we paid to have like a shot from there.
Yeah.
It's like, those guys are horrible because they just take your ego totally away. I mean, you have no confidence after seeing them hit.
I had nothing after that. I was just like, this is bullshit.
And they're kind of like a fighter pilot. They have that cockiness to them. They're like, yeah, I one shot, probably get about 450, and you're like,
Yeah, we're like,
Okay.
So how far can you hit it? He was like, I don't know, man. Maybe like 450. And we're like, get the fuck out of here. Really? All right. And then he,
that's not Vegas long drive 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I
I
mean-
got some sponsors. You see my bag?
have
You're
you
like, "Yeah, dude.
seen my bag? Do you notice the 2 bitches hanging out with me?
All my balls.
They just, I mean, hey, chicks dig the long ball, man. It was interesting. God, what? So what? I mean, what's on your mind? What in your business? What's the biggest thing that's just a pain in the ass about being in the bar business? About being in the craft beer business?
I
What's
don't
the
know so much
biggest-
about craft beer. It's just like Yelp. This is probably the biggest pain in my ass.
Are you still standing firm with your with your belief on the whole no e-cigarettes in your.
Well, they just passed a law. You can't do that anymore now. But we got rid of it.
Good.
We didn't let people do that.
I
'cause
laughed so hard that night when that guy was all foo-fooey in there, and he was. It's vapor.
It's vapor, man.
It's vapor,
I'm like, yeah,
man.
you still looks like you're smoking a cigarette. He's like, it's bullshit, man. Like, that's why I use these. I'm like, it looks like smoke
It
to
looks
people,
like
man.
smoke. I serve food in here. I loved your response. You were like, I'm serving food. People are eating. It's not.
It's like, dude, I smoke cigars. You don't see me in here smoking an e-cigar.
Dude, first of all, I don't like them. I don't like them because own your vices. You know what I mean? Own
Yeah.
it. And also, it looks like you're blowing a robot.
Yeah, then they go in on Yelp and go. Most of the time they look like idiots on it. Like, they won't let me smoke my e-cigarette there. This place is bullshit. And by the way, the bathrooms are dirty and the ceiling looks stupid. And you're like,
The ceiling looks
and you're
stupid.
like, okay, like, because I didn't let you smoke your e-cigarette. Like, whatever.
I couldn't
man.
imagine, though. Like, I don't know, man. That's why I do what I do, though. Because I can deal with the general public if I'm just there to, like, do my thing. But like, dealing with complaints, I don't.
The hardest thing anymore, I think it's general in life, is just you're just dealing with stupid people.
Yeah.
People have no common sense, and we're from the Midwest, and
Yeah.
where common sense is like, you might not have a college degree, but you have you have common sense, and you meet so many people out.
And it kind of instills something. When you're a small town, like, Midwest person, like, you kind of have this thing. You're going to run into the same people all the time. So you need to, like, treat people the right way. Otherwise, you're going to be
Absolutely.
banging your head into it every day. And the, like, big city, like, whatever, people just don't get it. They're like, well, fuck you. I'll never see you again.
Fuck you.
Well, you might.
2 years later, they're the president of Disney. You're like, oh,
Oh,
shit.
Okay.
I'm gonna quit now. I'm gonna go home. That's the crazy thing about this city, man. But
Are you really watching you are. I know you are. So I'm going to just bring it up.
The Bachelor,
Yeah.
watched it last night, man.
What happened?
It was just exactly what you want, man. Like,
What
I
happened?
think
Like,
I think
give
if
me
you're
a breakdown.
if you're a single guy, you gotta watch the show because all it does is make your ego better. Because these guys are literally idiots, and
Yeah.
the game they play. I mean, whatever they say to the girls, just do the opposite, and you'll score really well. But
Okay.
it's just it's a hoot to watch, man. And the girls are they're fighting over a guy or vice versa, and they love him in 7 weeks. I mean, just to watch again. Back to stupid people. He's dating 25 girls, and they're like, "I love him." Like, I want that opportunity in the regular life. Date 5 or 6 girls and have the girl understand, like, "Hey, tonight I'm going out with, you know how it is,
You know how it is.
but I got a one-on-one with you next Thursday," and they're like, "Oh, I can't wait! It's gonna be our time. It's not a group
some
date."
time
You're like,
together.
how do you?
But that's why I can't do it. My sensitivity will not allow me to watch a lot of stuff. That's why I pretty much watch sports and that's it.
There's sometimes when you make decisions all day long and you you do things that are, I guess, educated or whatever in your life. You need something to dumb you down just a little bit.
I'm
Just-
dumb as shit, so I don't need
just go watch, man. I mean, it's fabulous entertainment, man. Absolutely fabulous. It's
the thing that I don't get about it is it's the same as the Bunny Ranch in Las Vegas. Only this is on national television. It's the like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette is the equivalent of walking into
Oh, yeah.
a whorehouse and going, I feel like,
If
I feel
you-
like fucking a blonde.
If you foresee to forgive your own room, you can have the fantasy suite. I mean, that's pretty much like going.
Did he? Okay, so tell me what the outcome was.
What?
Not gonna ruin it for anybody.
No,
Because
no.
it's
You can't even explain it because the guy is just a total train wreck.
It's okay.
He's okay.
He's
Don't
o-
worry.
he's okay.
He's okay.
He's okay.
It's my English. I mean, it was just.
How do you say? I did not know you could not disrespect faggots.
I didn't know fantasy suite wasn't allowed to all the
I
girls.
thought I was supposed
I mean, it's
to.
like you go to this fantasy suite, and what do you do when no cameras around? You take a test drive,
Yeah.
And it just sucks for the girl who's got 4th pick. Like, I don't know if they drew straws and like, oh shit. But you're the 4th girl in line. There's
He
probably,
fucked one of them in the ocean, didn't he?
I think so, and he keeps saying that's our secret. We keep it to ourselves. You know, like, it's private. It's private. You're like, well, it is
Do you remember that one show that I really did like when they fucked with people that wanted to be on TV? Joe Millionaire. Do you remember that?
Dude.
It was so good.
When the guy was like a construction
He was a
worker.
construction worker
the
that
girls-
made $35,000 a year.
When
and
they finally
said,
broke it to the girls, he's like, I drive a bulldozer. And they're
"I
like,
drive a bulldozer."
you don't own the castle? And you really show where the people really were there for the materialistic thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because they went from like, he's the greatest, I love him. Motherfucker, what?
yeah. And the best, though, no, that was, to me, still holds itself up to one of the best moments.
I mean, it was the perfect joke because you fooled both sides. You
Yeah.
made this guy think
He was
it was the greatest time of his life. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm king, and I'm literally lying to everybody. So they got him for a reason because he wasn't smart enough to figure out that lying through the whole thing, probably at the end,
is gonna.
it's gonna bite you in the ass. No girl's gonna be like, I still love you. You surprised me,
Way to go,
you little sucker.
You.
They were. I was
Let's
like,
go back to your.
and he was like, I'm gonna go back to driving my freaking.
You
my
remember the
plow?
best, you
and-
know what I'm talking about, right? But the best moment from that show, best moment I think in TV history up to this point, when the chick is sucking him off in the woods and you can hear it, like they have their mics on, and she's like, I'm like, and I was like, I can't believe they're playing this on television. I mean, like that's not kissing. They're not. That's not kissing.
He's like, yes.
Yeah, that's. How do you think they got any legal action off of that show from the chick? I mean, and then they found out that chick that did the weird porn. Like she did they found out afterwards that
I didn't hear
she
that.
did the weird porn, like the bound and gag shit, where she's like, 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 yeah, like.
Oh my God.
The weird, the weird porn where guys are punching their clowns to people doing damage to themselves.
I love it.
That's my favorite term for masturbation. Punching the clown is just funny to me. You, dude, when we were at that winery, oh my God, dude, that's the shit that makes me laugh the hardest, dude. When we were at that winery, and they come out and they go, "This is our estate Cabernet," and they pour it in our glasses, and we all sip it, and everybody in our group is like, "Oh man, this is really good," and you go, "Man, this is like going double anal." I was like, and
Because they're trying to be so
yeah,
sophisticated.
no, it was so sophisticated. Then you go, "Man, that's just like going double anal." I was like,
Don't knock it till you try it.
dude, and the shit that's what I mean by being funny. Is like, I have all these dipshit comic friends, and you send me shit that I'm just like, man, damn it. You send like the shit, like you sent me one time. You sent me a picture of
the guy
of a friggin' ginger naked on his bed like this.
He was-
With his feet up, and he's just this chubby ass ginger like this, and he's like, "What you doing?" It's just like, who does?
That makes the day better, man.
I guess, and like the shit was funny. Hey, Angelo, we didn't set up the clock or anything, but I have no idea where we're at in the show. But
Hola.
this has been a good time so far. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah. Oh my God. It's my new hair, man. I'm turning 40, so I try to do the part. It doesn't work, man.
You don't like it?
I hate it.
I don't like my own head. I'm not a big fan.
You're getting to that point of getting older.
Yeah.
Where not that you've given up, but you're just like, I'm never going to look good again. So you just look at the hairstylist and go, just do something.
Do something.
And he's like, I'm going to use no razors, no shavers this time. I'm going to use all scissors. And you're like, sweet. Like,
That's gonna
make it so
That's
much
gonna
better.
make it so much better.
And they always turn you around away from the mirror for a reason, because
Yeah.
you'll sit there and like, I don't know what he's doing. And then they flip you around like, what do you think? And you're like, it's like the swan when you do plastic surgery for the first time. You know, you like turn around like, 2450. And you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. No.
It just doesn't work, man. It just doesn't work. No.
It's very, actually, dude. I'm sorry. You do. You look very Hollywood to me.
Pardon me. As long as I don't look hipster yet.
You don't look hipster, but if you just have to shave it up a little bit more, and then you fucking wear some just dark rimmed glasses and shit, and just be like, yeah, I used to like that band, but then they got successful.
got
I knew
good.
them before anyone did.
They were at Spaceland. I saw them.
I saw them. It was great. But no one was there because nobody knew.
Do you want a chai tea? Let's go get some chai tea.
I'm not hipster.
I think they look at you funny when you go into coffee shops now and you go, black coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, really?
Really?
That's all you want?
You sure you don't
But
want
all that, it's like going to those new fancy cocktail bars, and you're like, they want to take 20 minutes on a drink, and you're like, I don't want to go in and drink. So I go in there to have a drink, like, just give me a Captain and Coke. Like, you've got all these navy rums and dark rums and spice rum, and then I give you a hard time because you're like, I just want a Captain and Coke, man. Like, why don't you make that fancy drink for me, then what have you, and just give me a Captain. When I'm finished, yours will be ready. They get so frustrated.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm a mixologist, not a bartender.
mixologist.
I'm a mixologist.
Got my degree online.
Yeah.
I
I
went to the farmer's market and made
my
all this?
My instructor had a handlebar mustache.
he had a handlebar mustache. He didn't use the wax. It was all natural.
Natural.
Like, oh, come on, man.
With
Just
his-
give me a drink.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Right now, I went to the clubs last night, and 3 different people, random different people, were like, "Hey, man, look like you've been losing some weight. You've been working out." And I was like, "No." Just burping in my mic.
There goes a pound.
No, I go, no. They go, yeah, man. And I go, no, I got a haircut. Thanks. And they were like, why are you acting like that's a shitty thing? And I was like, because it just reminds me how big my fucking head is.
Yeah, my face is.
My head and my face is so chunky that I get a fucking haircut and people thought I lost 20 pounds. I'm like, that's
It's
but
not good, man.
whatever. I could have 6-pack abs and shit, and I'm still gonna have this.
That's the worst, man. The double chin when you take photos and you're like, you do the old in L.A.
how are you doing?
And the worst thing is when you think you're doing that and you're really going out at it,
Yeah.
and then the picture, the guy goes, hey, let me see the camera. You look at it, and it still looks like, you're like,
You're still.
I can't even stretch the chin out. It's all I
What
got.
are you gonna do? Luckily, I think my child's gonna look like my wife.
That's a
Because
good
the
thing.
baby,
That's a good thing, Brett.
she owns me. By the way, she's just so cute, dude. She gives kisses now. It's so crazy. That's changed everything for me. Like I don't care about anything, but I'm like, she's gonna give me kisses. I've turned into I'm a sap, man.
Well, I was part of having a kid, I guess.
It's also I just didn't see this in my when you're a young dude, you don't think that's going to be your life at some point where you wake up listening to friggin'
Bonnie?
no listening to Mickey Mouse. Like, by the way, it's some of those cartoons are just psychotic. Like I'm like, well, there's no way she's learning anything. This is horse shit. I don't like it. Like the Yo Gabba Gabba.
You've lost me on that one.
Well, you gotta.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, you should check it out.
On Netflix at this night.
What is your Netflix thing right now? Is there anything you're following that's like your?
I'm not watching anything, but I want to watch that detective thing, the new show.
I heard True
I
Detective's
hear it's
incredible.
freaking
I
awesome.
know,
True
yeah.
Detectives on HBO.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Everybody,
Really?
everybody, everybody at my cigar shop's like, dude, Matthew McConaughey and
Woody
Woody
Harrelson.
Harrelson are magical, man. Like it's freaking unbelievable.
Yeah, they were. That's like I had a buddy call me and he was like, "Have you been watching True Detective?" And I go, "No, I don't." I was like, "Shane, to turn off the HBO."
But now that The Bachelor's over, I got 2 hours every Monday night free to.
How? By the way, how do you do that? How do you watch that shit? I mean, I get it. Like, okay, 30 minutes of watching that shit, but I don't.
I don't know, man. And I'm a good old boy from the Midwest. I just don't. I don't know why. It just makes me feel.
No,
good
my buddy
about,
Newberg's exactly the
It
same.
makes me feel good about myself, man. I sit there and watch it like I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
That shit- He's from Ohio, which, by the way, still cracks me up that they consider Ohio the Midwest. You guys are Middle Eastern. You're Middle Eastern.
Well, that sounds like we're over in,
Yeah,
then it's not. Where are you from? Middle Eastern? And they're like,
Middle East. Middle East of the United States.
Middle Eastern.
But saying you're from the Midwest, it just doesn't like. For a Kansas guy, I was like, I don't get it.
Well, Kansas is really nowhere, and then it goes.
The middle.
It's the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's wonderful there. Flat, nice.
It's flat as shit. I didn't date anybody until I was a sophomore in high school because, like, dude, when we lived on the farm, like the town of 600, when we lived in Mineola, Kansas. all the girls-
You lived on a farm?
Yeah, man, I lived 5 miles from anybody for a while. Yeah.
The crazy thing, don't you
Nothing
love
like
them?
any farmhand out there.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that was the worst 3 years of my life. We lived there from 7th grade through 9th grade for me, and I literally got into a fight every day. Like I got suspended from school 9 times a year for 3 years straight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because of just fighting. Like these, I mean, and I was like fighting juniors in high school when I was in 8th grade. These guys, because there was like, it was such a small town that you had the senior high through kindergarten was all in the same damn building.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So like I'm walking through the hallways getting like slammed up against lockers and shit by
You get screwed with the
juniors in high
kindergartners in
school.
detention with you.
Yeah. And like,
Fuck you, Odie.
yeah, he's like, what are you in for?
What are you in for? I stole Cindy's milk.
I was eating glue.
We were playing kiss chase. I fingered her. Jimmy.
No, dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like one of the weirdest memories ever was this really happened. Is my first day of football. In junior high. I got into a fight. This dude, I was changing after practice, and I got my pads like around my. I'm taking my pants off. I got my pants around my ankles, and this friggin' dude. I'm a 7th grader, and this 8th grader comes up
Gives you a little hug forward.
and slams me, and I hit my head and cut my head open on the locker.
Ooh.
And turned around, and everybody's like, nobody fucked with this guy, and his name was Brandy.
They're like, ooh.
Yeah, it was a dude named Brandy.
Ah.
Yeah, and I was like,
Like the boy
Yeah.
named Sue, I guess.
it was, and I was like, that's why he was angry. Anyway, but I friggin', I didn't even hesitate. Like everybody's like, ooh, and before anybody could even like, ooh, I just seriously turned around and I went,
Judo chop.
that's not cool, and punched him in the throat.
Oh.
And I hit him really hard, and I'm in my jock at this point, and I punched the dude, and all the other guys come running.
You just got free
and I
swing
ran, and I literally ran through girls' volleyball practice in my jock and went and jumped
Fighting Brandy.
and had to run because I was being chased. I was being chased by a bunch of dudes, and I wasn't gonna get jumped. So I ran and this is what's fucked up too. I was driving at that point of my life. Like I'm 13 or 14 years old, and I was allowed to drive the farm truck.
As long as you put the
Yeah.
orange triangle on the
Yeah,
back.
and so I literally drove in my jock and fled in the fucking farm truck back to the farm.
That's a picture.
Yeah, it sucked for me too being a farm kid because I'm allergic to everything. I'm basically Paul from the Wonder Years. like, I'd be out there trying to help my dad, and we'd be out there for like 5 minutes, and my dad would turn and look at me and be like,
You're breaking out hives
because
again.
my eyes are like swelled shut, and I'm like labored breathing. I'm like, and he's like, just go
inside.
inside and help your mother. I was just like, I want to help you.
I can't.
Dad.
She's cooking with garlic. I'm allergic to it too.
It felt like shit. And everybody, I guess that's my thing. Like, I love all music, but those country songs that romanticize, like, being a farmer and shit, it's just not a fucking cool thing. There's nothing glamorous about it. Like, she thinks my tractor's sexy.
Well, you
I was like,
understand it when you move out here, then go back to visit.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, they probably do like that. Because I was there. That was me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. But no, driving a tractor's it's just like fucking mowing a big lawn. You're just going,
county fair tractor pulls,
you
man.
just go that way. And then when you get to the end,
When you get to the end,
turn around.
You got to turn around.
And you go back. It's just
Hey,
not
you
a
got
sexy thing, but and I'm not. Like I said, to go back to what I was talking about, I didn't date until I was a sophomore in high school when we moved because all the girls looked like fucking Mr. Ed. Like he had to rub peanut butter on their gums to get them to talk. It was just like, yeah.
Wilbur.
I have no idea where we're at. Is that how much time we have left?
That sounds good.
How much time does it say? I can't see the clock
It says
now.
28.
And yeah, roughly 30 minutes left.
Okay, well we didn't we? Here, we should take a break, right?
No.
No.
Yeah. We're not taking
okay.
breaks.
You know what? No breaks. We don't need it, right?
No breaks.
Okay, no breaks. We're good. Thanks, sir.
Crazy thing, this is the longest I've ever talked with Brett in one sitting, so it's quite nice.
Is that true?
Sometimes I doze off.
My buddy Raj did the same shit, man.
Well, you
He
just
came
kind
here-
of you learn in LA after a while that you can just look at people and just make eye contact, but you're totally in a different planet, and you gotta have a little tick in your head where you go, yep, oh, yeah, that's it's a craft out here.
Raj said the same shit. Raj was my guest, and my buddy Raj said the same shit. He was like, I'm not gonna lie. You make phone conversations last way too damn long. He was like, that's why I don't answer, and I just send you a text. And I was like, fuck, really? He was like, yeah, man.
I got a meeting.
And then but then because he pointed it out to me, I caught myself. Like right after that, I'd called a promoter of the club just to touch base, be on his radar and be like, hey, when am I coming back? When are you gonna book me? He calls me
And
back.
teach a little class of philosophy in the middle of that, and then
No, but I called and left him a message, and he called back to just respond to and he was like, hey man, you're on my radar, and it was right after the New Year. He goes, by the way, how was your New Year? And I go, oh, it was great. And I go, man, first round of golf that I played, I got an eagle. And I go, it was hot. And then I started telling him all this shit, and he cuts me off and he goes, Brett, he goes, B, the show's starting in 15 minutes. I gotta go. He was like, but we're good. It was good talking to you. And
Did I tell you about my
and he-
eagle?
Yeah, and he hangs up, and I'm like, and Shayna almost fell off the couch laughing because she saw it click in my head. I'm talking. I go,
oh shit.
I look at the phone and I'm like, and then I got an eagle, and I was like, you son of a bitch. Nobody cares. Nobody wants. He was being polite. How was your New Year? You just go, oh, it was good. And then you keep it moving. But not me. I gotta tell a long, drawn out story, and I'm trying to work on it. Because I want people to enjoy my company rather.
God damn it, I'm special!
Oh shit.
No, but like our friendship has grown because of from when we first met. Because when we first met, you were just like, dude, I'll never forget when you got mad at me at your bar. You
It
got
was
mad-
like 2:30 3 in the morning.
Yeah, and you and I are just having drinks, and we're talking about my career and how things are gonna go. And do you remember?
Oh yeah.
You gotta give me your version of it.
No, you go first. You go first, because
I went. But I was talking about my belief system, which is, forget the formula. And you were like, well, what? I mean, that's cute and shit, but like, there's a formula to this shit. You gotta, there's rules and shit. There's certain shit that you just
business,
gotta
man.
suck it up and do. It's a business. And I was like, oh, no.
I ain't doing that. I don't need that. I don't want
I
that.
was like, not me. I was like, no, for other people, that's fine. I'm not shitting on other people. He was like, no, you are. You were like, no, you are shitting on other people. What do you mean, not you? I was like, oh, I don't do it that way. And
I don't need this. I don't need that. I'm doing it this way. I'm like, whew, it was wearing me out a little bit.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden, you just like, what? I don't want to misquote you, but what you like? We're dead serious though. You just were like,
I said something about like,
you were like this. You were like,
you're just.
you were like, you're talented. You were like, you're talented, but you're the dumbest motherfucker. This is and you like lost it and just went off, and you were
Like,
like,
you gotta get it. Play the
You
game,
stupid,
Brett.
ignorant
I was
son
like,
of
you
a
gotta play the
bitch,
game to a
dumb
point, man. Like,
Yeah.
no, not me. No.
you're like, you don't have a choice. like you have to. This is
Oh,
the
God.
way it is. And I was just like, yeah, oh, that was also the dumbest. The dumbest though was when we went on that trip up in the wine country.
Oh.
When I fucking just went off by the friggin' campfire. and did a long
Here,
speech.
what was it about? You said
fuck your feelings. I
there's
said,
no such thing as feelings.
It's like feelings are made up. They're made up. They're made up. I don't care how you feel. I care
I was like, finally got to one. I'm like, you fucking ruining the trip, Brad.
no,
You're ruining the fucking trip.
you did. You said
Put all this together, man. And everybody's down, man. You're
you're like,
what?
I was like, wait, what? No, serious? I did. You were like,
I got feelings now, Brad. I got feelings.
you were like,
There's no
well,
such
no.
thing as feelings, Brian.
Like, there's no such thing. Feelings are like, I mean, they exist. I'm just saying they aren't really valid. Like how you feel. Because everybody's like, this is how I feel. And I was like, that doesn't matter.
There's no such thing.
I was like, there's no, like, it's not, it's like a made up thing. And you were like, really? My feelings don't matter, Brett? And I was like, well, yours, I mean, we're friends. And you were like, no. Well, way to go, Brett. You ruined the whole trip. And you walked off. And I really.
That's the way I was feeling. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
What the hell is this?
My friends are like, hey, good job inviting Brad.
Good job inviting the guy that decides to take us all down deep after
Sitting around a campfire.
after drinking heavily.
Oh my God, that was hysterical.
I chased that llama
I remember that.
in the
They were
dark.
so afraid they're gonna spit at you. Like these guys, I think they spit at you. No one was sure.
I think llamas do spit.
Llamas do
I was
spit.
like, llamas definitely spit. And I freaking got in the pen and was chasing them. And it was dark. It was a black llama at night and nothing but moonlight. And all of a sudden I turned around and there's one of them right here. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get out of your pen. I'm going to get out of your pen now.
Oh, we had some fun times, man. Jesus. A lot of fun.
Lots of late night. But we've also done the grown up thing. We've started to grow up more. That's good.
Unfortunately, you have to a little bit.
It sucks.
It sucks to a little bit, but if you look back when you're young, you're like, man, I took it a little too easy.
Oh, yeah.
And you miss it because back then you're like, I was 16 working at McDonald's. Like, we gotta go to fucking work. And how great was it? Like, no big deal. You get that $3.80 an hour paycheck.
Dude, I got fired so many times.
Like,
I've gotten
No.
fired so many times. The worst was, it wasn't the worst. It was just cool. I got,
Talking on the job?
huh?
Talking on the job too much?
Oh,
no, Brett was probably telling the manager or the boss, the owner, how he's doing it wrong. And then he breaks it down why he believes this. And the owner's like, are you finished, Brett? And he's like, I think so. And he goes, okay, you're fired. And he's like, ooh.
So you were hired and fired during the interview process, basically.
I'm really good at the interview. I'm really good at the interview. It's just like, it's about 2 weeks in when you get like middle management. Like, and they're like, so Brett, you know I'm your boss.
I'm your boss.
And I'm like, I like to think of us as coworkers. And they're like, well, we are coworkers, Brett, but I'm in charge of you, and it's important for me to know that
You listen.
that you know that. And I'm like, oh well, agree to disagree, because it's just I just can't. I can work with anybody. I just can't work for anyone. I just can't have a boss. That's why I like what I do.
Well, you're married.
I am married.
So you
I
got
do.
one boss.
And now you're owned by management.
Yeah, I do have a boss, I guess.
You always have a boss, man.
Yeah,
That's why you pay him off.
that's true. Oh yeah, with women, that's all. You have a boss, but you can buy them things, and then they
Here's some flowers.
give you some leniency.
I got this for you.
Thank you, Warden.
Thank you. Can I go out and play?
Can I go out and play? By the way, Shayna told me when we got married that I would be able to, now that we're married, that I could play golf once a week.
Doesn't happen.
No, it went away. We did for a while.
Well, you knew it was a sign when she told you 1 day a week.
Yeah.
It was already like, you can allowed to play 1 day a week.
Yeah.
I'm playing 2, damn it.
I need to play golf more.
Oh, golf's great, man.
I'm not great at it, but I've been playing better.
It's just, you can never master it. That's the beauty of it. And it gives you 5 hours away. Like, that's something,
Yeah.
you see a lot of married guys on the golf course because they're like, it's 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then you can always tell your wife, like, what? It took you 6 hours to play. We had some Koreans in front of us.
It was log jammed.
We had yours logged in.
You know, Southern California, it was log jammed.
the Koreans with the big Bertha
The
drivers.
big Bertha driver.
It takes a long time.
Not very accurate. Kind of spraying it everywhere.
Like, did you smoke a cigar? Oh, my buddy did. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It just got on me.
It was on me and my throat
And
and
my-
my clothes and my hair, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's my problem, man.
The job. Oh, I got fired from a golf course. I worked at Prairie Dunes in Hutchinson, which is where they had the Senior Open. They
Oh,
had
yeah?
the Senior Championship not too long ago, and I got fired when I was 18 because knew I was going to college on scholarship and all this stuff, and it was the last summer, and I was just working in the gazebo right at the turn next to the pool, but there was no air conditioning. So it's like 120 degrees in there because, on hot days because there's no air conditioning and there's a grill. So I was like, I'm in there like basically green, like just thinking I'm going to die from heat exhaustion. And I'm like, and this kid comes in and goes, he's like 8. He comes in, he goes, make me a hot dog, dickhead. And I go, what? I go, I'm not serving you anything. I don't care. I'm not even giving you can't even have water. I was like,
yeah, hot dog.
I was like,
dickhead.
make me a hot dog, dickhead. I was like, I'm not serving you. I was like, and if you have a problem with it or your mom has a problem with it, have your mom come talk to me. And this chick comes in, and I don't know how often the country club type, where she's just like, she went to college. Her parents sent her to college. It was almost like her mom and dad patted her on the ass when they dropped her off at college, and they were like, now what you need to do is you need to find the president of a fraternity and suck him off real good.
Really
good. Anyway, but so she comes in and she
Get
goes,
some on your clothes, just in case.
Get some DNA in your skirt. Anyway, she comes in and she was like, my son just told me you're not going to serve him. And I go, yeah. He came in and he said, make me a hot dog, dickhead. And she said, well, I think there's a dickhead that needs to be serving my kids. And I go, excuse me? She goes, no. She was like, here's the deal. You don't say shit to my kids and you just serve them. That's how it goes. She was like, and you keep doing that and flipping those burgers until you get your GED. And I go, listen, and I just went, just like gloves off, just all right. And I went, listen, bitch. I go. If your kid comes in here and says, make me a hot dog, dickhead, again, I will cover his little monkey ass in ketchup and throw him on the fucking grill. And for you, I know that you blew a frat guy in college and you haven't worked and you still let yourself go, you fat bitch. I said, and you just sit by your fat ass and you can't even watch your kids. I said, and she goes, do you know who my husband is? I was like, yeah, I know who that fruity motherfucker is. If he comes in here, I'll shove that goddamn 9-iron up his ass. Seriously. And I get fired.
No.
Yeah. I thought I was standing up for all that was right and just.
Where is
in
freedom
the
of
world.
speech at?
I don't know anymore. But what was funny is I waited like 5 minutes and sat there and drank another soda. I was like,
Should sit there and eat his hot dog. Like,
just sitting there. Yeah.
dickhead had to make a hot dog.
Dickhead had to make a hot dog. But I'm sitting there, and my boss comes out, and he goes,
Shaking his head.
and he goes, and he pulls me aside away from everybody else, and he starts rolling laughing, and he goes, oh my God, I can't believe you said all, you said all that shit to her? And I was like, yeah. He goes, oh God damn. He's like, the boys and I are going to laugh about this forever. He was like, if you ever, I have to fire you, but if you ever, he was like, if you ever need a reference, he was like, I think that's just.
I've got to let you go.
He
but
said, that shit's priceless. I can't believe, oh my God. He was like, that's good. He was like, that's good. But obviously, I need you to turn your shit
Turn
in.
your shit
It's
in.
like, you're not. You
he
can't.
told a member you're going to put her son on the flat
Yeah.
top with ketchup.
Yeah. So I got fired from that. I got fired from my mom fucking found me a management job for a fast food restaurant called Spangles. And I worked there for like 3 weeks, and I just couldn't. My pride, my ego couldn't take it because
Spangles.
it was like a summer back from college, and I'm in there, and I'm working the late night, and everybody that came through the drive-thru was like drunk or stoned, and they were like, "Is fucking Riley in there? Fucking Riley." I was like, God damn. Like, people are like fucking mocking me from the goddamn drive-thru
Oh,
window and shit,
Jesus.
and I was just like this. I was like, fuck this. No, I'm not. And the last straw with that is the head lady that owned it. Her name's Renee. Had a horrible speech impediment, and she came in and she goes, she would talk like she was like, I thought she was Lou Holtz's daughter or something. It's like she was like she was like, listen, and she's like, give me the run through at the restaurant. She's like, now everything I tell you today, while we're doing this, I want you to say, thank you, Renee, for making me a better manager. And I was like, what?
Shut the fuck up, you ugly twat.
I was like, I went, okay, never said it once. Like, didn't say it once. She would be like, so the prep area we need to make sure this area is, and then I would just, okay. And we got to like the fourth thing that she was giving me the run through, and I go, all right, we'll get that done. And she goes, what is wrong with you? She said, I asked you one simple thing. When I tell you something, you say, thank you, Renee, for making me a better manager. And I just lost my cool. I was like, are you out of your
Crazy ass bitch.
I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? Seriously.
Ugh.
I was like, I'm not. Are you kidding me? Thank you, Renee, for making me
Thank
a
you,
better
Renee.
manager. Like, this is like my fucking goal in life is to work at a fucking Spangles for you.
How do you come up with the name Spangles? That
Yeah,
sounds good.
It's
name.
like serious. And also, if I had a speech impediment, I wouldn't name something with a fucking S in it. Why'd you choose Spangles? Like, it's just.
oh god.
Anyway, it was so. But yeah, I told her, and then I did because I'm an idiot. I did the whole Jerry Maguire thing before I left. I was like, I'm not gonna do what everybody thinks I'm gonna do and freak out. Who's coming with me? And the Stone Fry Cook kid was like, I'll go with you. And he walked out with me. I was like, dude, are you gonna get in trouble for quitting your job? He was like, my probation officer's probably gonna be pissed. I was like, well, why'd you go with me? He was like, because that was funny, man. That was cool.
I hate getting fired from a job, but it's funny.
Have you gotten fired?
Yeah, I got fired from. I was younger, but I worked at this company called Erica or I don't remember what it's called, but we shipped all these parts, and I worked in shipping and receiving. Mm-hmm. And my boss, they called him Frenchie because he was French.
Let me move a little closer.
They called him Frenchie because he was French.
Yeah.
And he was just he just rubbed me wrong. So, one day when I was in the bathroom sitting on the toilet, I decided to draw. You know that joke where you draw the house and the sundial, and it looks like a guy bending over in the shower. Well, so I drew that on there first, and put Frenchie, something on it, and it went around the company. Everybody's, laughing about it. So, it became popular. Like, oh my God, someone in the bathroom with Frenchie, So I was like, well, I got to hit the other bathroom with this too. So I wanted to keep the comic strip going, So I write it in another bathroom. I go to the bathroom and make it some other stupid thing with Frenchie on it.
Yeah.
And it went on for about 3 weeks or whatever. And I think people kind of narrowed it down to me towards the end. And they finally, every time, I think it was like a conspiracy, like next time Brian goes to the bathroom, everybody let us know because they're going to check all the bathrooms. So when I come in, so I got caught. And,
Okay.
But, everybody thought it was most people didn't like the guy, so they thought it was pretty funny, but they did the same thing. The comic strip was great, and
It was good, but
the big penis and Frenchie's face and the guy bending over, lovely.
it was good.
But we got to let you go. I'm like, oh, shit, man.
You have a very good thing with your
But
artistry.
It's just getting caught up in something, I thought I'd do something funny, and that was immature and fun, but I just kept going with it, and
So you didn't ever have like a full-on disrespectful outlashing at anybody? Because that's the thing that I look back on and I hate about myself is because I said some horrible shit.
oh, I
that
say
was
stupid things all the time, but I don't.
I said the horrible things to that woman though too before I quit. When I was like, honestly, you could go to a specialist or something. Like this is just like.
Spangles.
Just tastes better.
Can I get just sassafras soup?
Sassafras soup with the Taylor Baked cheeseburger. Like, it was just But now looking back on it, I would never do anything like that. I'm
Bill's
not
character.
mean to people. Like I'm not mean anymore. That's what I kind of realized and been telling my wife. I was like, I was a mean person. I was kind of a shithead when I was young. Like I know for a fact if I would have met my wife under the age of 25, we wouldn't even have been friends, let alone dated. She would, so like I'm a I'm a late bloomer.
Well, builds character. Sometimes you get carried away with jokes and it ends up being hurtful, but
Yeah, I
it's
don't-
funny as shit. And I have that problem all the time because I like to say stupid stuff, and some people just don't get it. Like that's not right. You're like, you should never say that. And I'm like, I was just being funny, man. Like, no,
No, you can't.
that's
do
rude.
that. Same girl, right?
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I have to
Put
check.
me on the spot, man.
I apologize. Relationships are always my.
No, let's go on there. We hit the year mark, and a little bit. Girls are smart. Their timing's perfect about how they know just when to start adding rules. Like
Oh yeah.
that's things you do when you first meet is a little more open-minded. They let you sample it. Like you get some of this from time to time, and you're like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of disappears, and then they're when they first met you, like they don't have a problem you smoking cigars and playing golf, drinking beer, and then they're like, did you smoke cigars today?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I do every Sunday when I play golf. Oh,
that might be.
you really should stop. It's gonna make you sick. I do care about you,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm saying it. You're like, it's just they open that door and it just rules and rules and rules, and I have a problem with that. That's why I'm almost 40, and
Well,
you just get fed up. I'm
you
just,
do. As a guy, you're just like, really? When you met me, I was a train wreck, and you thought the sun shined out of my ass, and now we're making rules. I've made a lot of progress. I was.
I can't. It's hard for me, man. I figured I'm on a good streak right now, So.
I think you're on a hell of a streak.
But she's a good girl. She's pretty good. But we'll see. Next year is another year.
Do you feel do you ever get this feeling? Because I get this feeling now. And it's not like it's not an arrogance or a cockiness or whatever, but it's like the best feeling I've had. And I didn't ever think I would have this as a kid, but like I truly have to remind myself all the time when I kind of get into a funk because like shit's so stupid in the world right now. Like there's just a lot of like dumb on purpose, whether it be traffic or anything, you know what I mean? Just whenever I get into a funk, I have to remind myself like, as a farm boy, I've literally accomplished all of the goals that I had when I was a kid. And I have to remind myself of that. Because I only had 3 goals. I wanted to meet the chick that I could spend the rest of my life with. I wanted to be a dad. And I wanted to have a career where I don't have a boss. I have that. I'm not wildly, I'm not like rich or I'm not famous or anything, but that was never even in my goals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, do you ever feel that way?
Oh, it's humbling, man.
'cause-
My goal is just to get out of my hometown. Like there's just nothing there.
yeah.
And then, you just keep. It's like anything else. You just keep wanting more. You're like, oh my god, and there's so much more to offer. But
Yeah.
I'm humbled every day. Like I'm a small town hillbilly from Ohio.
With your own
That-
with a very respected.
Yeah, for me, it was a dream just to come see like the Hollywood Walk of Fame, let alone to have a restaurant on it. Like,
Yeah.
You sometimes you look back and you're like, how the hell did this happen?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
I'm not gonna lie, as your friend, it's been cool as shit for me to watch it though. Like
cool
when
for
you
me,
were,
man,
like I remember coming in and doing like when you were having your like grand opening and when you were having your opening and stuff, and you were like, what do you guys think of the food? And like I was.
Then my ex-fiance says, everything's terrible, Brian.
Everything's
Fucking
terrible. Here's the deal.
My girlfriends are going to go get some wine up the street. I'm like, it's opening night. You should be proud of me, man.
First of all, Brian, you don't have a degree, Brian.
Listen, I can't respect you without a degree.
Brian, you're gonna need to go have it.
We've been dating for 5 years. This just came up.
Yeah. No. By the way, congratulations on moving
gosh.
past that. I didn't want to bring that up, but why not? It's a good closer.
You know,
You managed to escape.
I dodged a bullet,
You
man.
dodged the biggest bullet I've seen, like a human bullet.
But the greatest thing about it is
She was a grenade, man.
you want the karma to hit, and
it did.
and you waited, so I waited, and she moved back to Ohio. Of course, she was a materialistic girl, so she found the first brain surgeon she could find, which
Yeah.
was great. Unfortunately, he looks like Gene Wilder, which there's nothing better than your ego is when
When your ex leaves you
flipping
for-
through Facebook and she's like, I'm dating, and you're like, great.
He looks
You're
like Willy
"That's
Wonka.
great." And then, and then the next thing you know, like he loses his job and he moves to Detroit, and now she moves to Detroit. And I'm like, so you live in Detroit with your unemployed brain surgeon, and you live in Detroit? Congrats.
Congrats.
I'm like, there's nothing like hanging up the phone going like,
So she still contacts you, doesn't she?
yeah, she'll text. We'll text from time to time.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm childish, I guess, because like I'm like if somebody tells me to fuck off or like I break up with a girl, you are dead to me.
Yeah, but
Like, I'm just done.
there's something about the humor behind it that you got to keep.
You
know?
do have that's the one thing I'll give you. That's that you still have. You've had multiple humorous stories just because of your still with that slight connection still there. You know where
Oh.
you're still keeping contact. But that's dude. Materialistic is like an understatement.
Oh my God!
I'm not gonna lie. Never liked her.
Well, most people didn't.
Yeah, no, and that's what's crazy when I talk to your other friends that I meet. That your other friends are just like, they're like,
Thank you.
they were like, oh, they're so good. Oh, they were like,
She's a bitch.
oh, it's bad.
She was. Hey, to each his own. You know. I think you don't see it when you're in it. When you're in it, like you think all your friends are stupid. Like, what are you talking about?
But you have to admit, when she went out of the picture, it was like a boulder got cut from your friggin' air balloon, dude.
Oh yeah.
Because you just
success got better. Things got better.
yeah.
And and the bad thing about the good thing about LA, single in LA, if you got a good business and things, it's not bad. It's not like being in Ohio when you're like, okay,
Well, yeah,
let's go down to the VFW and see what I can score.
Let's go down to the VFW and see if I can have sex with a girl that does not have gonorrhea or 3 kids.
Or three kids with my best friend and my
best
cousin.
friend and my cousin. That
Yeah.
was always what freaks me out. Like my wife, that finally clicked with Shayna. She always was like, "Why do you always say these things about the Midwest?" I was like, "I don't say bad things. It's the truth. Like you're kind of mucking around in a smaller pool. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's kind of like that's what grossed me out when I first started going back home after we moved back. My opinion was like I was like, "Oh my God."
When you look on
Everybody-
Facebook, it looks like your friends with switched wives.
Yeah.
I divorced Tony and now I'm dating Cindy. And you're like, wasn't that your buddies? Yeah, we switched houses.
Yeah. No.
It's works better this way. And you're like, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but
Not really.
It's kind of the truth. You're
It's
like,
not really that big of an
like,
exaggeration.
wow, that's
Like I'm not swapping. You know what I mean? I'm not like I don't get that. But my wife finally saw it. My wife finally saw that like in the Midwest, like she finally like saw back in
Yeah.
our
It's
towns
just
that we
different
grew up
mentality.
with. It's a different mentality, and there's just kind of like there's not much to do other than like
my high school
Get
girlfriend has
fucked
still
up.
never left Ohio. I'm like, when the last time I saw her when I was home, I was like, what you been doing? She's like, oh, just kids. Happy as can be. Life's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were talking and it came up. She's like, I've never left Ohio. I'm like, how do you, but, to me, it blows my mind. I'm like, Indiana's different, than Ohio.
yeah.
Wait till you get to Mississippi.
That's
But they have they're totally content with where they're at. And you're like, to me, it's like, God, there's no way I could live like that.
I gotta have like
a little diversity was nice.
Well, another thing is that I realize I haven't even scratched the surface. Like with this comedy, all I want to do is I want to do the UK, I want to do Australia, I want to see the world, and I haven't been anywhere yet. And I haven't even been to New York.
Oh yeah?
I've never been to New York, and I've been to comic coming up with like 15 years.
Well,
It's insane. So.
it must be the agent that you don't want.
Have you had a good time?
Oh, it's a great time, man.
All right, guys. This is Brett Riley. Couldn't help but notice. I want you guys to give it up. Give it up. We're not in front of a live taped audience, but no. Brian Lenzo. Check out Blue Palms Brew House. Also be on the lookout for Brian's new brewery. What's it going to be called?
I can't tell you the name yet.
Not named. Okay. But Blue Palms Brew House. Excellent food. Excellent beer. Check them out. My name is Brett Riley. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.